Battle of Neighbors, Rajasthan Royals versus Gujarat Titans was today on a Thursday. A long weekend coming up for everybody. We were expecting this game to go close. It was up until 15th over, but then it started turning towards one-sided game. To talk about how the game was today and the focus for tomorrow, we got Ravi back on the show. Welcome back, Ravi. How did you enjoy the game today, Gujarat Titans versus Rajasthan Royals?
Yeah, as we discussed offline, I think till the 10th, 12th over, it was very good. Till Hetmyer was there. In fact, when Josh Butler started, I thought Ara is going to chase us down. But their weak batting lineup and Sanju Samson, as usual, first after the first three games, he doesn't perform well with the bat. But a very good performance from Gujarat from where they were, especially with the bat. Uh, Two quick wickets, and Hardik Pandya showed that he's booking the flight ticket to Australia.
That's awesome. Yes, definitely. As a recap of the score, Gujarat Titans batted first, 192 for 4, a outstanding 87 by Hardik Pandya. We will talk about it. And then Rajasthan Royals fell short by 37 runs, which I felt the resources were used really well by Hardik Pandya, Ravi, saving Lockie Ferguson. Mohammad Shami
Yeah.
was expensive, but Rashid Khan towards the last 6 to 8 games. What do you think?
Yeah, no, we must give credit to Hardik Pandya's captaincy also today because he captained the team very well. He was not panicking after the Josh Butler carnage, And in fact, the way he used Yashdar also, it was very impressive. The way he brought him back in during the 10th, 11th over where they got the wicket also. It was very impressive from Van der wicket, I think, has got behind for Yashdal. In fact, he wanted to finish Yashdal over because Yashdal was expensive, but he made sure that he rotated the bowlers brilliantly. And what a captain's knock today and by Hardik Pandya. We cannot discount his batting effort apart from his captaincy.
Absolutely. And Andy is mentioning that the Trent Bolt, like Harshal Patel, who was missing in RCB, Trent Bolt
Yeah.
missing in Rajasthan Royals. Was that a factor at all, or is it just we are reading too much into the game?
See, they took the initial two wickets, which Trentwood also would have taken, right? I mean, it's not that Rajasthan Royals were not bowling well or they have not taken any wickets in the power play. They took two quick wickets. One is your favorite, Vijay Shankar, also. So, but I don't think so. They would have missed much. Maybe in the death overs, they would have missed instead of Kuldeep Singh. Maybe if Trent has bowled that over, then they might have had a lesser score to chase. But even then, we but I still can't understand how team is dependent on one single bowler. But even after with this entire auction, they couldn't get a backup bowler. Imagine Jimmy Nisham replacing Trent Bolt. That is not a great sign for Rajasthan Royals, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Trent Bolt is class apart. Let's take a look at how the Gujarat Titans had started. Matthew Wade and Shubman Gill gave a decent start to the innings. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Matthew Wade got run out. And then Vijay Shankar, no comments. Not even sure how he makes it to the 11. But then it was all Hardik Pandya, Abhinav Manohar, and David Miller show. A word on Abhinav Manohar,
Yeah.
Ravi.
Yeah, that guy batted very well. In fact, I was really impressed. This IPL is all about Indian youngsters, right? Where a lot of Indian youngsters, for example, Prabhu Desai from RCB impressed Badoni, and this guy also doing very well, and even Tilak Verma also is doing well for Mumbai Indians. CSK does not have youngsters, so we don't know comments on that. But yeah, so I think overall, I think it's a season for Indian youngsters to perform. It's a very good sign for Indian cricket, and we're not dependent on foreign players. The younger guns are starting to step up if the seniors fail.
Absolutely. He had a fantastic partnership with Hardik Pandya. It's unfortunately he missed out on a
Yeah.
well-deserved half century. And let's welcome Delhi Capitals co-CEO and Rajasthan Royals mascot and RCB mascot. Shubham. What do you make out of today's game, Shubham?
Uh, Good game. I think I'm honestly surprised with how Gujarat Titans have played in the tournament so far. I mean, if you remember during the auction, most of us were quite critical of the squad that they have built. that they had built. But 5 games into the season, I mean, okay, like if it would have been just 2 wins or 3 wins, it would have been, maybe a fluke here or there or something like that. But if you have won 4 out of 5, you are doing most of the things right. I think and that's the case with Gujarat Titans. And the biggest positive for them is I think Hardik Pandya stepping up as a batsman. That was very critical for Gujarat Titans chances. I mean, even during the auction analysis, we kept on saying that they don't have batsmen. They have a backup for a bowler, a backup, and backup. So many bowlers, right? So Hardik Pandya, the batsman, had to stand up for them. Everybody was focusing on whether Pandya will bowl, whether his bat will be able to support 4 overs. But I think Hardik Pandya, the batsman, is much more critical for Gujarat Titans, and right now is number 2 on the orange cap list. So phenomenal work done there by Hardik Pandya in terms of just keeping the entire batting together for Gujarat Titans.
I
Yeah.
think I want to add one more point on the auction front. No, a lot of people, we all read about a lot of what happens in auction, how team is built in auction. I think auction is only 20% of what the entire tournament is all about. No, because for example, CSK between 2018 to 2020 the auctions has been, everybody said they have a weaker team, and they go and they almost won 2 IPL trophies and one runner-up trophies. So auction is just 20%. I think team gelling, understanding the role, giving each player what the role what they require, and giving them the priority, and making sure the team dressing room is in pretty good shape. That is much more key. I think a lot of teams are still figuring out. If I think Gujarat Titans figured that out, because in paper they might look as weaker side, but they're playing as a unit. They're playing for each other, so that is much more important than what you win in auction table.
The bowling did not click at all, Shivam, for Rajasthan Royals today. If you look at the bowling figures, Jimmy Neesham went for 9 plus, Prasidh Krishna 8 plus. Kuldeep Sen had a terrible game, 4 overs for 51 runs. Yuzi Chahal 8, Riyan Parag for 12, and Ashwin for 8. So, could you have done anything different if you were Sanju Samson on bowling department?
Not much. I think you can't really fault Sanju Samson for anything apart from that, maybe that Ashwin experiment of promoting him to number 3. But apart from that, I think the bowling with what, see, they were missing Trent Bolt. Let's keep it simple. They were absolutely missing Trent Bolt. The firepower at the top. And Kuldeep Sen, see, he was last match's hero. Defending 15 runs against a world class hitter like Marcus Stoinis is a big thing, right? So you'll have these off days once in a while. I don't see anything different that Sanju Samson could have done. It was a simple case of they missing Trent Bolt.
And of course, I think that middle order of Gujarat Titans, which is Hardik, Miller, Tiwatia, and Abhinav Manohar, are starting to come together and peak more and more. Just for the record, Sunrisers beat Gujarat Titans. So that's the team who has beat Gujarat Titans. From
See, I think one point, Suman. I don't know. I might be wrong, and maybe Ravi can give his opinion on this. I think sometimes while of course, as Ravi said, auction is just the 20% or 30% of how a team is doing. But in the last couple of days, I was just thinking, and this thought came to my mind while sitting on the auction table. Making a completely balanced team is difficult, right? You cannot expect that you'll have good batsmen, like one or two international top batsmen, and one or two international top bowlers, and then a mix of first 11 Indian team, and well known under 19 players. It's difficult to create that all round balance side. Now, when it's difficult, right? What would you prefer? You would prefer making a bowling heavy team, considering it's T20, considering it's IPL, or you'll prefer considering making it a batting heavy team. Just take an example of RCB. Maybe in most of the majority of the IPL years, right? RCB would have the top batting lineup, right? Never won a tournament, have qualified quite less as compared to the other teams, And we always say the same thing, right? Best batting lineup, worst bowling lineup, or rather an underperforming bowling lineup. So with Gujarat Titans, with a clear auction strategy of banking on the bowlers, Shami, Rashid Khan, Lockie Ferguson, and the list goes on. So do you think they were smart in terms of making it a bowling heavy IPL team and then banking on Hardik the batsman to come good, Shubman Gill to come good, one of the Miller or Wade to come good, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the problem with Rajasthan Royals. Looks like they are dependent on a couple of key players, whereas if you look at Gujarat Titans, there are contributions coming from every aspect of the team. And I was talking to Adi, who is also a Sunrisers supporter, right? He mentioned that batting wins you matches in IPL, but bowling wins you tournaments. So
Exactly.
I think to your point, you need a solid bowling lineup to defend smaller targets or bigger targets, though even you can score. So, from the word on Yash Dayal, I know we spoke about Abhinav Manohar, but Yash Dayal, he was very expensive for the over one, but I think he made a good comeback. Maybe.
Yeah, he did. I mean, in fact, he took 3 wickets, right? I think 3 wickets from a young seamer is a good effort, considering with the way Josh Butler was batting. I think it's a good effort from Yash Dayal. Today is the day of Yash, right? So with KGF release, so yeah. Uh, uh, so on Shivam's point, I want to add one thing. With respect to Gujarat Titans, they look at the retained players. One, they have retained Shuman Gill, who's a top batsman is there. Then they have Hardik Pandya, who can bowl and you can finish the innings. So there is a middle order which is sorted. And they have Rashid Khan, who can give you solid 4 overs every single day. Correct. So with that, they have already filled 3 slots in their 11, which for batting, for finishing an all-rounder, and the bowler also. Now what they did was they fixed who they need first top 3 batsmen. So they have Shubman Gill. So they need 2 more players. They thought maybe backup for Hardik Pandya if he's not going to bowl. They have Vijay Shankar. They also went for Shivam Dubey also during the auction. So, I mean, they wanted a backup all rounder who can bat at the top. So that's why they took Vijay Shankar. Vijay Shankar performance may not reflect in whatever they wanted, but still I'm saying this. So that's what they made sure that every single position as a backup and every single 11 which they wanted is filled. That's how auction is filled, because you cannot get every single player that you wanted, right? You cannot you cannot get every Ishan Kishan in all the 11, all the teams, right? So it's not possible. You have to fill based on whatever you retain the players, and based on that, based on the slots, I think you have to fill. If you fill the slots, then
Correct.
automatically you fill the 11. Once you fill the 11, then you go for the backup players. Backup players might come
Correct.
good
Correct.
today, tomorrow, but it might not come good also.
Yeah.
But your starting
Yeah.
11 has to be solid,
Just,
and that's why GT successfully maintained that. See,
correct.
if
Just on
GT has
that
failed,
point,
if GT has
Ravi.
failed,
Yeah.
if GT's result has not gone the same way, we would have spoken a different way. But what?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's why we waited for like 5 games, right,
yeah,
before commenting. See, what I'm just trying to say is, let's see RCB or any team for that matter. RCB, who are the top 4 players? Faf du Plessis, Anuj Rawat, Virat Kohli, and your number 4 is Maxwell. Only one out of these 4 bowls, which is Maxwell.
yeah,
Let's take Mumbai Kishan. Ishan Kishan, sorry, Mumbai Indians. Ishan Kishan, Rohit Sharma, Brevis, Tilak Verma.
Surya Kumar
Only
Yadav.
one out of these, Surya Kumar Yadav. Okay, so leave Tilak Verma. Only one bowls, the Brevis, right?
Yeah,
With Gujarat Titans, your number 3 is Vijay Shankar, who bowls. Your number
yeah,
4 is Hardik Pandya, who bowls. So
yeah,
what I'm trying to say is there's a clear strategy that they were what they went with is, let's keep our bowling sorted. Batting will somehow come together. That's what I personally
absolutely,
feel. I think
absolutely.
Hardik Pandya, your number 4 middle order bat, right? I think it's a big thing. And you yourself said, right? Hardik Pandya is more of a finisher. But they
Yeah,
have clearly given him a middle order role, right? Who's the glue
yeah,
against, around whom the batting revolves. So what I'm trying
yeah.
to say is maybe it was the Ashish Nehra effect that they were very clear. We want more of bowlers who can bat rather than the batters who can bowl. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hindsight,
Yeah,
this looks like a brilliant strategy, isn't it? Looking back, and let's spend some time on Hardik Pandya. It is pleasing to see he getting like almost 15 overs to bat, and he clearly showed what he could do. He gave that glimpses of 2017 Champions Trophy finals where he
Yeah.
went berserk versus Pakistan. But concerns creeping in with bowling. Seems like he's injured again. Again, for him to be a complete contributor, we need a bowling and a batting all rounder in Hardik Pandya. So, would he play next game? Is Andy Ghanti's question if he's injured, Shivam?
No, I don't think so. That injury is a big injury, Suman, because I think from a catch he got injured. I think that should be sorted. I
Correct,
don't see that
correct.
would be an issue.
That should be
So
sorted.
if
It's
he
more
doesn't
of
play, I'm
a
happy because it is against CSK. So yeah,
yeah, I agree with Ravi. I don't think it's an injury per se. It's like a bruise because of that catch. So
yeah,
I don't see an issue in terms of injury to Hardik Pandya.
Excellent stuff. And guess what? Gujarat Titans are sitting pretty at the top of the table.
yeah.
Let's take a look at our points table in the meanwhile. Uh, you just need to refresh this. There you go. So Gujarat Titans, 5 games, 4 wins. KKR sitting pretty on second with 6 points. There are 4 teams on 6 points. KKR, Rajasthan, Punjab Kings, Lucknow Super Giants. Actually, 5 teams, RCB 2. So looking at tomorrow's game, which is Sunrisers versus KKR, what do you think, Shivam? What can we expect the table to go into the fourth week of IPL? How will the table shape up?
Uh, right now, I don't think there's much to choose between the teams. I think Mumbai should be kept out of the race now. Chennai with this one victory, and that too a significant victory where, with all due respect, uh, if I mean I don't know if that's the right word, the lesser known players stepping up, right? If Robbie and Shivam Dubey have stepped up, imagine when once Rituraj Gaikwad comes into form, CSK would be at a different level. And Rituraj Gaikwad will definitely come into form, right? It's been a pattern with him for the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons, I guess. In the first 3 matches, he has always had single-digit scores. In fact, I think less than 5 runs, and then he starts scoring in after the fourth or fifth or whatever. So Gaikwad will definitely come to the party. Moin Ali also, I think he's still not there at his best. So CSK, I think we should not write them off. Uh, there's very less to choose, between all these teams, right? Most of them are with sitting on 3 wins. It's only Gujarat Titans who has 4 wins. So not really, much to choose in between all these teams. I think tomorrow KKR has a clear advantage. I think Washington Sundar will be missed because if you look at SRH, they don't have a pure spinner apart from Sundar, unless I'm not sure if they somebody who's going to replace Washington Sundar. So that's a big miss for SRH, and I think Williamson, if he's playing that role to perfection of uh, going slow at the beginning and then catching up later. He only did that once in the last match. Otherwise, it's I think SRH might be better off by pushing it down to number three, right? And you give that clear license to Rahul Tripathi and Abhishek Sharma to go for it, right? Williamson at opening the batting makes sense, with opponents like Trent Bolt and other pacers who can swing the ball around in the first 3 4 overs. You need someone like Williamson, but most of the matches he has gone at less than 100 strike rate in the power play. So I think that is one thing that SRH needs to sort out. If they are okay with SRH with Williamson playing slow at the beginning and ensuring there are not many wickets going down, then others have to go absolutely bang bang. Your Puran and Abhishek Sharma and Rahul Tripathi. But otherwise, and that's quite risky, right? Because if Williamson gets out, there's a lot of pressure on the other teams. Sorry, other players. So that one thing that SRH has to figure out in terms of Williamson going a little hard at the top and not going at least less than 100 strike rate, and a backup for Sundar. These two things I think SRH needs to figure out.
Shivam, all the more he's not going at the hard because he doesn't trust the batting lineup. Shivam, because see, at least he needs to bat 10 overs for him to give more chances for Puran and Abdul Samad if he plays to hit in the later stages of the innings. Imagine if he goes hard and gets out, then the whole batting lineup will collapse. I think that's how the template has been for the last couple of wins which they have had. I think it's better they follow that.
Agreed.
And with respect to Washington Sundar, I think they have Suchit also they have, and they have a couple of more spinners. Even Abdul Samad can bowl some leg spinners also. So I think that is where and they have Shreyas Gopal also who's there, whom they can fit in and get Abdul Samad
I just
also.
hope they give
Yeah,
Shreyas Gopal a chance. With all due
yeah,
respect, I don't think Suchit is a replacement for Sundar. You go for an
yeah,
out and out spinner in Shreyas
yeah,
Gopal. Just
yeah,
one point on that, see, even if the previous Punjab team, right? We always used to
yeah,
criticize KL Rahul for his strike rate. There was a
yeah.
similar template there also. KL Rahul will be the bone of the batting lineup. He will, ensure the wickets do not fall down. But then, when your Puran and Maxwell get out, right, then the team, does not click. So my only concern here is it makes. I agree. Williamson is important. If he's going to play that sheet anchor role, then the others have to come to the party. But otherwise, it's going to be that Punjab story, right? KL Rahul playing so slow, giving 100 or 50 fantasy points every match. But then the strike rate is a problem.
That's true.
Suman, if you can get that points table again back, is it possible?
Sure. There you go.
Yeah, if Sunrisers manages to win, there are a lot of chances that they may go above RCB also, which will put huge pressure for RCB and DC for the upcoming games.
RCB
So
has a positive strike net run rate. So
it's only 0.006. It's almost at zero. Imagine they have played 5 matches and they got 6 points, and these guys also would be at 6 points. So net run rate will start if they win big tomorrow, SRH, then all the more I think RCB and DC would be more pressure, and even LSG will be under pressure to win the next couple of games.
yeah,
Otherwise,
interesting
this
next week
tournament,
coming up.
yeah,
And Andy Gunty is asking, can we call right now Gujarat Titan as the best team with the most wins?
no, no, no. I have seen 2018 IPL where Punjab won first 7 matches and they didn't qualify for playoff.
Okay,
So
so you still are not giving Gujarat Titans the
I
chance.
mean, no, no, yeah, no. I'm not saying that they've already qualified for playoffs, and you can't call them a best team, right? So I mean, no.
Yeah, I think there's
Agreed, agreed.
about this IPL. There's also talk, Shivam, that that it's not interesting so far. But the thing is, every team is still trying to hunt and get that combination of 11. I think this year it's going to be that there won't be a clear winner. Is that a fair way to look at it because of the auction reject?
Yeah, absolutely. I think. See, I mean, I don't know what's people's definition of an interesting IPL, right? Just because your uh, your three teams who have dominated IPL for the last I don't know donkey years. It's Mumbai Indians, CSK, Hyderabad. Hyderabad is now doing well with 2 wins on the trot. But with those three being at the bottom of the table, I think that's why some of the viewers are looking at it as a boring IPL. But I think I like it this way. Your new teams and the dark horses and the underdogs are doing well. I like it this way personally. And of course, the 10 teams format, has made it more challenging, has made it more competitive. So, of course, you don't have a clear winner. It's going to be very difficult to predict, your top four. And it's very less to, choose between all these teams. I agree with Ravi. Gujarat Titans, even today, you will not call them a clear sure shot qualifier, right? They have done well with all the resources that they have, but still they are not looking as a champion team, right? If you call, like, for example, CSK or SRH of the 2018 or 2016, or Mumbai Indians of 2020, right, where they were almost playing at a different level altogether. So it's still very competitive, which makes it all the more interesting, right? You can't predict your top four so easily. Just one point I like to make is this 10 team format. I think one brilliant thing that has happened in IPL now is lot more new faces coming up, right? Which probably players like Abhinav Manohar or an Anuj Rawat or a Yash Dayal. I don't think they would have got an opportunity with an 8 team format, right? 22 new players, right, getting an opportunity to play uh, new that extra 8 foreign players, extra 3 to 4 uncapped players. So that is, I think, fantastic. Otherwise, we I don't think we could have got an opportunity to see these guys if it would have been a 8 team format.
Absolutely.
Shivam, I have a question on that for you. Do you think by 10 team format, the quality of cricket is down? I mean, it's not as competitive as your 18. Maybe that's why a lot of people are saying it's not interesting because the quality of cricket might have come down. Because imagine, I don't know how much, if 8 team format, you said these guys would have not even made to the 11. And what if they are not making to the 11? What is the quality they have? That's my question here. Uh,
Yeah, but personally, I think, see, these players are performing, right? So I
Yeah,
would
because
still say that
other team quality is also low, no? I mean, simple.
maybe fair enough, of course, right? If as the teams increase, quality slightly goes down,
Because the
right?
resource is very
But I
limited, no?
think
So
correct.
quality
But
resource is
I
very
think
limited.
a market like India, I think this is easily consumable, and I don't think saturation is has been reached in terms of quality. I think this is still top class franchise quality across the globe. Uh, Maybe with all due respect, foreign players, I think the quality that would have gone down is probably with the foreign recruits,
Yeah.
being honest. With all due respect, maybe players like Aaron Finch, who has not yet performed, so it's not fair to comment on him, but maybe a player like Miller, who did well today, but maybe players like Miller, players like Matthew Wade, I think these guys would not have been picked if it would have been an 8 team format. So what I'm just trying to say is the quality might have gone down in terms of the international recruits, but in terms of the Indian quality, I think that is still top notch. That is still there.
And I have a point to make, Ravi, for your question. If you look at the scores of all the 23, 22 matches this year, everything has been average of 160, 170 plus. So the quality of cricket definitely has been to the par or
So I mean,
actually than
that'll be there even in KPL and TNPL. So I mean, I
having
would
said that,
I'm not questioning about the scores. So all the most if scores are going to be more, so then the bowling quality is where I'm questioning again. So that's
yeah,
where I'm coming up.
to Gujarat Titans credit, like Shivam mentioned, probably they saw something on the auction table which everybody missed, and now the
Yeah.
results are showing opposite different way.
One
But
question
I
for
can
you.
answer the question.
One question for you
Sure.
on SRH tomorrow.
Okay.
What do you think they should do to maintain this winning streak? Winning streak because I'm saying 2 wins is winning streak right now in IPL.
Washington Sundar is a definite blow because he would have squeezed 4 overs for 30 or 25 runs and he was a handy batter. So it depends on who will they replace Washington Sundar with. That'll be an important aspect. Second, Rahul Tripathi. Hopefully it is a cramp, which I think Tom Moody mentioned that it is a cramp. If
Yeah.
only Washington Sundar is the damage control we need to make. I think we just need to continue playing the way we are playing, which is bowl well, take our catches and not give an opening over like Bhuvi 20 wide. If he can control things like that, I think our 11 is starting to shape up. And Umran
Hmm.
Malik, as far as I'm concerned, I think Tom Moody will continue to give him chances. I don't think they will drop him because he's raw pace and Dale Stein will take care of him. So I would say that they should take course, make sure the replacement of Washington Sundar is well thought through. Even for batting, I don't think they will tinker with the batting. They will continue to retain Kane Williamson on top.
Yeah. Natarajan vs Russell is going to be a killer tomorrow, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Just one question to both of you, Suman and Ravi. I think what I've noticed this time around is, couple of your middle order batsmen are there in that orange cap race, right? Somebody like a Shivam Dubey, Hardik Pandya. Generally, my perception, always was that your orange cap has to be your opening batsman or maximum
Yeah.
number three.
Yeah.
And if I can say that, I think over the years the trend has been the same, right? Your
Yeah.
KL Rahul, David Warner, Shikhar Dhawan, opening batsman or maybe maximum number three for obvious reasons, right? You get more balls to play and all. But this time, with some of the middle order batsmen, breaking down the run charts, do you see that this is maybe because of the pitches are assisting fast bowlers in the first 3 to 4 overs in the power play. Players like Trent Bolt and all, and that's why your openers are not coming, to the party, and middle order batsmen are sort of stepping up.
Well, I personally feel it is to do with the intent of the opening batters. If you look at all like KL Rahul, for example, he opens it, but he's trying to play a sheet anchor role going up until last. And if you look at Chennai Super Kings, like a Faf du Plessis when he was opening was also in the contention of orange cap. But Chennai doesn't have a solid opening combination right now. Ruturaj Gaikwad is not in form, hence likes of a Dubey are in the top four. If you look at Rajasthan Royals, clearly Josh Butler is playing that role. If you look at Gujarat Titans, their opener Shubman Gill is in contention. So is Hardik Pandya. Shubman Gill is not getting support on the other side, hence Hardik Pandya is getting that opportunity. So I still feel that top four is where this will revolve around, Shivam. Also, it depends on the quality of batters too. Somebody like Hardik Pandya getting bigger number of overs. Who knows if he would have played for Mumbai, number four, he would have been orange cap before.
Yeah, I will. One more thing is the 7:30 p.m. start is also not helping the opening batsman, because the 7:30 p.m. start happened from 2020, and 2020-21 it happened in Dubai. So there's no much difference in the conditions in Dubai. Either it's 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. It's going to be hot only. Whereas in India, under lights it tends to swing more. So probably
Correct,
that's
correct.
why I
That's a
feel
fair point.
opening batsman might struggle. And as I said before, also my point was there. So even the middle order bowlers are not that great enough, that quality. So all the more middle order batsmen are getting that opportunity to score more runs.
And Shivam, I do want to take this last question before we draw, which is important one, right? So what went wrong for Rajasthan Royals today? Despite the strong batting lineup, Jimmy Neesham is a good hitter. Why couldn't they chase up 190? Is it good bowling Gujarat Titans or the middle order crumbling?
See, definitely good bowling. I think Lockie Ferguson is probably at this moment right at the top in terms of overseas fast bowlers in IPL. Maybe Trent Bolt is there, but I think Lockie Ferguson is doing really well. So definitely good bowling from a Gujarat Titans perspective. Uh, Even with Rajasthan, see, I think what I see some similarities between Rajasthan and the Punjab Kings, batting style, wherein what these guys are doing is that irrespective of whatever the match situation is, we'll just go bang bang bang, right? Even today, that's what happened, right? I think what they were 70 runs in 6 overs or 7 overs, right? So. Maybe that in such big chase in big chases you need that one player to give that solidity throughout that innings, right? Which Virat Kohli used to do for Virat Kohli used to do it with perfection. So not much to pinpoint in this innings. Definitely good bowling from Gujarat Titans, and nobody really playing that Hardik Pandya sort of an innings, right? Right from the start till the end. Maybe Sanju Samson's run out was a big pushback for them. If Sanju Samson would have stayed there for a significant period of time, I think they would have had a stronger chance. But apart from that, I don't see much, anything particular to pinpoint that this is one reason why they could not chase.
It
Okay.
is 5 matches over, Shivam. So Sanju Samson quota is over. So
So anyway, so it
I
was
think last time we did well, we scored 400 plus runs.
yeah.
most
It
of them
is
would have come in the first half. So
yeah. Let's hope tomorrow's game
Fair
Friday
enough.
is a closer game, which is Sunrisers versus KKR. I don't know when the super over is going to come, but yeah, we'll continue to wait. But Shivam and Ravi, thanks for hopping on. Really appreciate it on a Thursday. And Andy, Vishak, and everybody else who engaged, really appreciate your support to us. If you're watching our show, just drop us a like, comment, and share, subscribe. And we will continue to try and bring you every possible game at the end of each day throughout the IPL. Until next time, see you later. Thanks, Shivam and Ravi. Enjoy your Thursday evenings.
Thank you.